Welcome everyone to the CriticalX League hosted by CriticalX powered by Game.tv. I'm your host, therealCCV, and today we've got a great match lined up in front of us. Ladies and gentlemen, we have TRN8 Valiants versus Reckoning Esports on the map of Clubhouse. And having a look at the map ban phase over here, of course we had Coastline and Border, two fairly smaller maps being banned, followed by Villa from the side of TRN8 Valiants. That was an interesting, ban quite early. Then Theme Park was banned from the side of Reckoning. Nothing can be said about Theme Park, can we? That left us three larger maps, fairly large maps, triple story maps which have a lot of vertical players, which as well as a lot of roam also. Consulate was one of the maps that was banned, followed by Cafe, and that means Clubhouse. Once again, we're going to see Clubhouse being played. TRN8 Valiants have chosen to attack first. That's a very interesting strategy from their side. I'm sure they have something up their sleeves, because choosing attack on Clubhouse, though, a lot of people say Clubhouse is defender, not just defender sided, but neutral sided. Taking attack on Clubhouse is a bold move. And right before we jump into the game, we'll have a look at the winners, losers bracket and standings as well. First of all, we'll start off with the standings. Reckoning Esports were number 3 in Group D, and last time we saw them, they were against, I believe, Mercenaries, and they had managed to tie that round. Of course, there won't be any ties now since this is the double elimination phase. No more ties. The match goes to overtime, and only one victor is crowned from there on. But Reckoning Esports were on 3rd place of Group D, and they qualified very nicely on the side of TRN8 Valiants also. They were on 3rd place also. They were overtaken by JTF. That was a very interesting move, JTF were playing very good, though they lost 2 of the games. Exactly, both these teams, JTF and TRN8 Valiants, lost their games towards to Quantum G1, and both their losses were there, and Quantum G1 were on a streak. No draws, no losses, 11 back-to-back straight wins. Last time we saw TRN8 Valiants was actually against Quantum G1 as well. It was on Consulate, and TRN8 Valiants had an initial lead in the game, but it was Quantum who managed to win that round, and Consulate has been banned. This time we are seeing a larger map and another map that starts with the C, not Coastline. No, this is going to be Clubhouse. And finally, of course, we'll have a look at the winners and losers bracket as well. So at the moment, this match is winners bracket 1.7. The winner of this match will move on towards winners bracket 2.5, and they will compete against Kira Esports. Meanwhile, the loser will move over to the losers bracket, and they'll go in losers bracket 2.8, and they'll compete against the loser of winners bracket 2.1. Of course, it may sound confusing, but winners bracket 2.1 is Quantum G1 versus Hoffen Esports. So the loser of that match will compete against the loser of this match. But we are getting too far ahead of ourselves. Right now, we'll just enjoy this map on this match on Clubhouse. Winners bracket 1.7, TRN8 Valiants versus Reckoning Esports. The attack of TRN8 Valiants, the defense of Reckoning. And stay tuned, we'll be back in just a minute. Welcome back everyone to TRN8 Valiants versus Reckoning Esports. And on the map of Clubhouse, it's going to be the start of the ban phase. The first ban will be coming from the side of Reckoning. And just like, yesterday's game that we saw between Seven Sky Esports and Never Diamonds, it will be interesting to see whether the teams focus on, oh, they do. I was about to say whether they focus on the idea of hard breach and they position and they have their bans similar to those. And with Maverick being banned, I think it is pretty clear whom Reckoning Esports are focusing on. Meanwhile, TRN8 on the other hand are focusing on Capita being banned, so a little bit of support being banned as well. And now we'll move on to the defense bans. Once again, TRN8 will start off with their ban first. And they have chosen Echo to be banned. So all these operators, Echo, Capita, very strong operators, not just on this map but on any map, and quite powerful for both teams. Last ban will be coming from Reckoning, and they have chosen to ban Mira on this map. All right, that's very interesting. So in a way, my theory isn't that great. I mean, of course Maverick has been banned, but on a map like Clubhouse where roughly every objective has walls or has hatches that are situated towards the outside of the map, you definitely need some form of a hard breacher being banned, whether that be a hard breach support like Thatcher or that be a hard breacher itself. But gym and bedroom will be defended by Reckoning Esports first, as Goyo, Bandit, Smoke being chosen by them. On the attack we have Thermite, Thatcher, Hibana. So once again, focusing really focusing a lot on hard breaching. And the support operators are Sakib playing Buck and the Joel playing Zofia. Well, Buck has been 6-picked into a Sledge and Bandit has been 6-picked into a Vamai. Jim and Vamai. So Vamai Ye combo is being run, but okay, there is no anti-breacher, no mute and no Cade, and all three operators, Bandit, Mute and Cade, all three of them are available to play, but Reckoning have chosen not to play them for now. That's a very interesting thing that they have in mind. And once again with the Rats, the Vamai reinforcing the walls on CCTV, the exterior walls of CCTV, as well as the connecting walls from CCTV towards Cache. It is pretty clear that these teams are going for Reckoning at the moment is going for a horizontal heavy setup. They plan on making Vamai play on top east with that shield that he's given, one Goyo shield at the entrance of Cache. So they are very definite in making Vamai play over here. He has barbed wire for his support, he even has a shield, not to mention his Vamai magnets as well, and he's barricading garage storage. So this is looking like a little spread out, sort of a play. I mean, Vamai is over there, Vamai is in top east, Jaeger is in Cache, Maestro is placing his evil eye, and then he'll move back. So the main objective for now is completely clear. There's no defender over there. Of course there is utility, and that's the thing I want to mention. Though these defenders are quite spread out, they have a lot of utility for them. Vamai has one Jaeger ADS and multiple Vamai magnets, not to mention a shield and barbed wire. Jaeger has his ADS and Maestro cam. Smoke has a shield and his smoke canisters. So every one of these defenders, they're playing quite far apart, but they're very, very safe. And now 1 minute has passed into the round. We are now moving on to the action phase. And having a look in here, the attackers are taking a little passively. Hibana has opened the main, Thermite has opened the main breach in CCTV, but we still have the Maestro cam tagging her, and that's going to be very annoying. Not just the tags, but the you have been spotted, that notification, that is very annoying for any attacker. And Jacuzzi ball has also been breached, so a little success for the attackers. They have managed to gain a little bit of map control, whether that be the main exterior breach in CCTV or the Jacuzzi breach, but they have not been able to take the map control just yet. No attacker is inside the map for now. Only Hibana is there. Hibana is burning the ADSs and all of her and all of the Vamai magnets, as Vamai now will be stuck in a bad position. He is by the bottom east stairs and he has been droned out. Sledge will be there to try and peek him aggressively. Hibana is also there, not to mention Zofia. Thatcher picks up the first kill as he kills Vortex, but Rats gets one kill onto the Joel. That means Zofia is now gone. Hibana is in a gunfight with Vamai, but Vamai will exit that gunfight shortly, and Hibana watching out for him. But Vamai, he went the good route, and he's now back from main stairs. He's now back up. Maestro is still in bathroom. Now a little bit of an anchor setup is coming here. Blank is still playing in pool table, so he's still playing below the site. He has a C4 to prevent any plants or any mishaps happening inside. 30 seconds now left. One of the smoke canisters has already been used up, as Thatcher is still watching logistics along with Hibana. 4 attackers left, 4 defenders left, 25 seconds left, and the attackers are still looking out for any defender. Goyo has been spotted in pool table, but Thermite himself has been spotted. 20 seconds now left. The attackers need to start getting desperate. And yeah, we'll go into overview because now a lot of things are about to go down. The first thing, Blank gets a kill, Shrisha gets a kill, and Aniket also gets a kill. Sakib is the only surviving operator. He gets a kill onto Shrisha, but Aniket gets the refrag on him, and Reckoning Esports win round number 1. And I think the attackers took it too slow. With 20 seconds left, of course, the man count alive, 8 people were alive. That didn't really matter as much as map control and all that mattered. Thermite was at the entrance of gym, but he just wasn't able to take control. Goyo was below him. Maestro was playing in bathroom. Maestro ended up getting the final kill. And what that meant was it was too slow for the attackers. They had to ramp their attack up, and 20 seconds just wasn't enough. They lost the gunfights and eventually lost the round. And now currently it is 1-0 in favor of Reckoning Esports, as they have chosen CCTV. Roughly the same setup coming. Once again we're seeing the Vamai Yeka combo. Bandit also there, so is Smoke. And this time we have another information operator that's going to be Valkyrie instead of Maestro. So another interesting pick. On the attacking side, same lineup, nothing special. We have Archangel playing Thermite, Majima playing Thatcher, Kingslayer playing Hibana, Sakib playing Sledge, and Dibjol playing the new Elite Zofia. That's the I'm going to completely wreck this pronunciation, but I believe it's called Duh Bohoy. It means the fighting spirit. I know what it means in English, but I don't think I got that translation at all. But it is fun to say. But on a serious note, the same lineup being run from the attackers. So once again, it will be interesting to see. I believe Thatcher and Thermite will once again focus on the main exterior breach. Meanwhile, Hibana enters the back, most likely with the help of Sledge from Jacuzzi, and eventually they take control of construction, open the wall. That is usually how teams take it. And when you're playing in a lineup like this on your attack, most likely this is going to be the play. And Hibana and Sledge have spawned on warehouse, and they'll shortly be coming over here. Hibana looking out for any spawn peaks, doesn't spot any. Meanwhile, Dibjol, Zofia will be an interesting, sort of flex operator to see how she plays. Most likely, I think she is going to go on the logistics hatch, or she can play from below also. Zofia grenades will be really, really useful in trying to clear out any anchors that are in cache, especially, well, usually it is the Maestro, but in this case Blank is playing the Valkyrie. She's watching for any operators. I think she spots Sledge on her cam, but at the moment she's playing very far off. She might go for a run out, I believe. Oh, okay, this is going to be very interesting. She is there, she's watching all the cams. If she goes for run out, she might end up successful, but no attacker as of now is playing near garage. That's what she expected, but Rats picks up the first kill as Aniket the bandit also dies, but so does Thermite. So now it's all down to Hibana as your primary hard breacher. She is once again in bedroom and construction along with Sakib, so my theory was correct in a way. Dibjol still on the roof for now, and Majima is playing by the main breach as Sakib picks up a kill, this time onto Vortex, so that means Jaeger is now gone. A flank will not happen now as Blank recedes back into bar, shoots a drone, though Rats is now playing in the rafters and watching out for any attackers, watching for top east. Shrisha is still playing by top east stairs. He still has all 3 of his smoke canisters, so that's something good for the defense for now. 1 minute left, and now the attack looks much more stable, if I may use that word, because now they know they can enter from main breach. Hibana is now opening the construction wall. Cover fire is being provided towards smoke. So now I think the attackers have a much better chance of winning this round than compared to the previous round. 45 seconds now left. Hibana is now going for a sort of late round drone, and so is Zofia. Sledge now in construction, watching for the feet of any attackers, has both of his frag grenades still intact, and I think there may be a Jaeger area. Shrisha still playing by top east. I think he'll be droned out in just a second. Providing cover fire is Sledge. Shrisha throws one of his smoke grenades, but to no avail. And Rats is watching the main breach along with the cash entrance. And finally, we have Blank picking up the kill onto Kingslayer. She's below the construction hatch. Sledge has to try and clear her out, but no, Sledge decides to enter the site completely. He'll be met up with his fellow SS operator and he'll get the kill onto Smoke. That means Rats and Blank. Rats looking out for Sledge, spots Sledge, but Blank is in a gunfight right now. Dipjoel picks up a kill, and it is all down to Zofia, and Zofia wins the gunfight as she kills. Oh, Thatcher was also present, but it was Zofia who won that gunfight for her team, and that means that TRN8 Valiants win round number 2 and make it 1-1. Alright, now Basement and Church will be defended by Reckoning Esports, as once again they're going for a little utility heavy setup. They have chosen, Aniket once again has chosen to play once again. Shrisha still on Smoke. Legion has also been picked, so no Vamai. And on the attacker side, we still have the, the triple combo, the triple hard breach combo to say, not the triple hard breachers, as Maverick has been banned by the teams, but still we have Thatcher, Thermite, Hibana, and finally we have Zofia, and okay, one of the players, I think Saqib, is suffering through some difficulty right now, so let's see, and let's hope that gets resolved. But in the meantime, talking about the last round, it was much more, I mentioned it was much more stable than this round, just because of the fact that the attackers, they really had an early attack. Of course, the early picks were there, not to mention how stable they seemed and how easily they took control of few of the sites. There was no vertical play. Zofia was playing on the top floor. There was no Buck present, and Thermite very quickly opened the main breach. Bandit also died, and okay, we are seeing Saqib playing Lion. So I think that maybe an auto pick. If it is, then let's see how he plays out. But if it isn't, then definitely TRN8 have a strategy up their sleeves, because they chose to attack first. That's the main thing. I'm really thinking about a specific reason behind that, because their attack, there isn't a lot. Maybe they're just good at attacking. That can be one of the reasons. There are definitely teams that are better at attacking than they are at defending. That can be one of the reasons, but we'll leave that away from now. As the round has started, it's going to be a basement hold. This is the first time we're seeing basement being played, so I really want to see how Reckoning also take their basement hold, considering they are going a little utility heavy. And for now, I don't see any dedicated roamers as well. There is no Vigil, no Ella. That's something, especially a Vigil, that's something teams prick for, even an Alibi to an extent. But I think with Smoke being played, Legion also there, it will be a little bit of an anchor heavy setup. Hatches will be reinforced by Aniket in just a second. Meanwhile, on the rest of the setup, we currently see Jaeger ADSs and barbed wire being placed, electrified barbed wire being placed in blue and in utility room, not to mention the reinforcements as well. So I believe Vortex the Jaeger is planning on playing over there. Bandit is your main anti-breacher, Rats is the Legion, he's also present, and with Legion being present, I think either Smoke or Legion, one of them might just play heavy towards Dirt, and I think Aniket placing one of his Goyo shields over there secures that assumption for me. There is also an ADS. They might be trying to burn the utility the attackers may have, especially the grenades that Dipjoel is bringing. And finally, we of course will have a look at Archangel and Majima as well. The Thatcher Thermite combo. Hibana is of course also present. And at the moment, from the side of the attackers, it is looking like a traditional sweep. They're at the moment they're on second floor. Zofia is there, not to mention Lion also. They have completely droned out second floor within roughly a minute, and no roam present. This is something I was focusing on earlier also, and I want to focus on this even now. There is no roam present from side of Reckoning. What this means is, very quickly will the attackers be able to gain map control over the majority of the map. Thermite is now opening the main breach, the main hatch towards Moto and Bar. That will lead new line of sights there. And Jaeger is still playing in utilities, a little slow, taking things a little slow. Rats once again in Armory, several line of sights being produced, connecting Armory to long hallway, and one rotation hole as well. Aniket, the Goyo is playing over there, as I think one impact trick happened from the side of Legion, but in a way it proved okay. A very fairly interesting thing happened. Half the hatch is now open, but that may favor the defenders, as Rats is peeking that very wide, and he may be able to catch an attacker off guard. Zofia, in the meantime, has already dropped into oil pit, watching for anyone in armory. She makes her presence known by shooting by shooting cover fire. And Aniket over here getting 2 kills with a C4. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant from his side. He proves his value, and his C4 proves his value, as Thatcher and Lion are now dead. Thatcher peeking wide, unfortunate. Aniket picks up yet another kill, and you can see the dead bodies of Lion and Thermite. They're just lying over there. And Dipjul also getting tagged heavily by Jaeger. Kingsley also drops. Kingsley will be peeking wide, though she herself will die. It's all down to Dipjul. She's in a down but not out stage. She's trying her best to get into cover. No, she'll be shot by Vortex. And Reckoning Esports win this round in a flawless fashion and make it 2-1. Alright, this time gym and bedroom once again will be picked. Rats has chosen Pulse, though with the victory of with Reckoning winning the basement objective. Not sure to what an extent Pulse may confuse the attackers. It's the same lineup on the attacking side and the same lineup on the defense side as well. So I believe we are once again going to see the same very horizontally expanded setup from side of Reckoning. Vamai will play in top east and so on and so forth. What I want to see is a change from the attackers. Last time we saw Jim being held, the attackers were very shabby. They took too much time, and in the end they lost the gunfights, though of course with the more time that passes, the more desperate the attackers get. So it was clear that they would have lost the gunfights one way or another. And this time let's hope that there is a change in the attacking side, and this time they are much more professional, not professional, but they're much more concerned about how much time is being utilized from them, and what are they gaining basically, by getting some map control, whether they choose to take out Goyo first in a roam clear, or whether they directly attack side from Jacuzzi and CCTV. These are questions that will be answered in just a second, as majority of the attackers are spawning in from warehouse. So I think Thatcher might once again plan on entering from the main CCTV breach. No anti-breach on the side of Reckoning, so the wall will be opened in a fairly quick manner. And the Jaeger Vamai combo playing in Cash and Toppy stairs respectively, still watching out for any attackers. Vamai has been droned out, and the drone has been destroyed. Along with Thermite, we also have Hibana by the main breach, watching for any defenders, doesn't spot any. And like I said, the main breach will go down in fairly easy fashion, and the Maestro Evil is there, and we need a Zofia or a Thatcher for that matter. Thatcher is now watching out for Jaeger by the pool, by the cash table, and Jaeger needs to be very careful in not showing and in not exposing himself from that angle. Rat still holding top east, and okay, so Hibana over here trying to burn ADSs and trying to burn Vamai charges, as oh, that was a bad one. So one ADS charge still over there. Smoke is watching out the main logistics hatch. Maestro still on his cam looking out for Hibana, and the drone is there to entice him, and Hibana isn't able to shoot it. Okay, so that was, in theory, that was an interesting strategy with the drone and Hibana being present, but Hibana wasn't able to shoot the Maestro Evil Eye out, and they still need the help of Thatcher or Zofia into clearing that. But speaking of Zofia, she has been tagged heavily by Vamai, playing in top east, and once again half the round is now gone. And compare this to last round, we can just see how much time is being utilized by the attackers, and they aren't able to achieve what they want. The Jacuzzi breach, I think it's still standing strong. Yeah, we haven't seen okay, Jacuzzi breach is now open. Sledge is playing over there, but he still has Goyo to take care of. Ripjol will land the first kill onto Rats, and with 1 minute now left, the attackers now slowly but surely are gaining kills. Dipjul will get yet another one, this time out to Vortex. That means Aniket, Shirish and Blanca, the only surviving defenders now left. Aniket in bathroom. Eventually his Maestro Evil Eye is destroyed, but 50 seconds left. I think Blank needs to reposition and needs to go by mainstays to try and go for a flank, but I think all the rest of the defenders are also playing near mainstays. Shrisha playing by bedroom, meanwhile Aniket is situated in bathroom, still on his evil eyes. 30 seconds now left. Oh, I think that was in the best of smoke canister throws that could have happened. Now we have Kingslayer peeking wide. Maestro is still there in his bathroom, but his position is known. Providing cover fire is he. Shisha in his smoke with his SMG living, watching the wide angle. 15 seconds now left. Blank now making his way, still in bar. And still, too late from him. Shrisha lands 2 kills with this shotgun. Absolutely tremendous shot. He spots Ivana, gets yet another kill onto Zofia. And spots Sledge also. Behind him is Thatcher. And Thatcher is now down, but Sledge eventually takes him out. Sledge doesn't have the diffuser, and Reckoning Esports win round number 4. Absolutely. That was brilliant. That was brilliant. There's no other word for that play. Especially from Shrisha. He was playing this wide inside. When he got the first 2 kills on Hibana and Thermite, I thought he would be spotted fairly quickly, but no, then he landed the shot on Zofia from the wall. Whether that was a fluke or not, that's for it's a past question now. The round has already happened, no point in answering that, but my point still stands. Absolutely tremendous from the side of Reckoning Esports was that round. And even though Jaeger and Vamai died fairly quickly with half the round being left, it is the anchors, and not just the anchors. I want to say the smoke and the maestro themselves. Goyo was still playing down. Of course, he had an integral role. It was to clear off any plants that were going down. And if Sledge was able to get the diffuser and go for the plant, I'm sure Goyo would have been able to get the final kill. But still, smoke and maestro played absolutely perfection to perfection. They held the angles. Maestro provided the cover fire that was very, very necessary, and in the end it was the better team that won that round. It was too slow from the side of TRN8 Valiants, and I think that's something that Reckoning Esports will be trying and taking advantage of, is the attack in gym bedroom. The TRN8 Valiants, it just isn't strong, and I think TRN8 Valiants will be trying to rectify that mistake that they have now caused twice in their rounds. Alright, now with the preparation phase now being over, we move on to the onset of the action phase. And once again, we still have Pulse being in kitchen. He spots Hibana, tags her heavily as she's down to 25 HP. Oh, that was very nice from side of Blank. Hibana still providing cover fire. Oh, Sledge could have gotten caught in that cover fire, though he's still safe and sound. Hibana now with 25 HP this early into the round. The scan causes further problems down the line. Thermite now looking for the main breach. Once again, no anti-breach over the side of Reckoning Esports. This is a very, very interesting strategy, that they have. Having no anti-breach. Of course, I can understand no anti-breach in a gym hold, but in a CCTV hold, it's fairly interesting. That's all I'm going to say for now. Zofia still there. One good thing that Reckoning Esports have done is reinforcing the wall on rafters, because they know Rats is playing by the rafters and he needs that wall to be reinforced. Even in the previous CCTV round, he was playing very close to that window that is present in rafters and CCTV, and he needs that reinforcement for his support. Otherwise, he'd be shot at within seconds, especially considering that Joel is playing Zofia. Alright then. Now we have Thermite by the construction wall, trying to clear any roamers, but we have Blank present. He gets the kill onto Hibana, so he clears out his enemy that was present, and alright, Pulse getting the kill onto Hibana. That reminds me, that gives me that reminds me of the Tournament of Champions, the video released by Ubisoft. Pulse and Hibana not a good duo, and it was an everlasting combo. And now we see Archangel burning the ADSs once again. But Flashbangs is in the strong spot of TRN8 Valiants. The previous round we also saw Hibana trying to burn the ADSs, but one of them still stood. In fact, it is this ADS in front of our screens right now on top east. And Shrisha, the smoke, still watching out for construction, trying to spot any attackers. Majima gets the pick onto Aniket, so that means Goyo is also now dead. And it is a 4v3, 3v3 situation as Vortek picks up a kill onto Joel. So still 30 seconds left. This round, I believe, can go any way for now. Sledge trying his best to stay alive as he was caught in the smoke fire and in the smoke canister cloud. And now Majima will be peeking wide on smoke. Vortex picks up the kill onto Archangel, and Vamai is watching the crossfire. Though I don't think Majima knows about Vamai being present. Vamai is now shot dead. Smoke is watching the angle. Smoke will be tagged heavily. Smoke has the shotgun. He won't be present. Sledge is in a down but not out state. Vortex is the final one surviving. He now backs off into bedroom, and the diffuser is, well, not with Thatcher for now. He's speaking out wide. 3 seconds left. He has no other choice other than to go for the kill. He's going for the kill. I'm not sure what Thatcher was thinking in that moment. Okay then. Going for the kill. He knows Jaeger would have backed off really bad. He could have planted behind the diffuser. Of course, the planter takes 7.5 seconds to go down, but really not sure what the Thatcher was thinking over there. But alright then. That round happened, and Reckoning Esports are now winning 1-4.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
Alright, now it is the final round of the first half. The defense of Reckoning, the attack of TRN8 Valiants. Reckoning Esports have chosen to go basement once again. So far, they are heavily in the lead, winning 1-4. That's a very huge lead, and this is why I was very suspicious. Not suspicious, I was very surprised, and that's a much better word. I was very surprised when TRN8 Valiants chose to attack first on Clubhouse, because it isn't a good map. It isn't that good of a map for attacking, and especially seeing TRN8 Valiants, well, struggling to win the rounds, especially in gym and bedroom. Not sure what strategy they were putting over there. Let's see if they make a comeback, or whether Reckoning Esports managed to clutch this round out for their team. Alright, now 30 seconds have now passed. It feels like the same setup from Reckoning Esports. This time we once again have Blank playing Bandit. So I believe Goyo, Bandit, two C4s being present. Last time we saw Aniket playing the Goyo. He racked up two very nice skills onto Lion. Though this time there is no Lion. However, there is Twitch being played by Sakib. So she'll be trying to clear off any ADSs, any Bandit jammers. And to an extent, I think she might be successful with those. Only if she doesn't reveal herself too quickly. She shoots one, she shoots another. She only has one of her tasers left. And this is the exciting gameplay we're waiting for. We want to see more Twitch. We want to see her on drones. But on a serious note, Zofia is now droning utility room. Jaeger is still playing there. At the moment, Hibana is in stock room. And I think she is successful in opening the hatch. Yes, she has opened the hatch. There is no Cade present. And now the hard breachers will be moving on to kitchen, I believe, as they've opened the hatch on Moto, as well as the hatch on stockroom. And well, I don't think Dirt isn't open, but Dirt isn't being contested by Reckoning Esports either. What could have happened is the attackers could have opened Dirt just to create a fear in the minds of the defenders. At C4 has been thrown. Dipjo lands the first kill onto Vortex. Aniket gets a refrag onto Kingsley. So what that means is Ivana is now dead. Smoke is also now dead. Dipjo gets yet another kill. Dipjo gets a triple kill onto Blank. That means Rats is the only operator now, only defender now left. 1v4 situation not favorable for him. And the main church wall breach goes down. Lesion's location is known. Twitch is coming in for the kill, and she'll be able, no, it is Zofia who gets the final kill, and Dipjol racks up a 4k in this round. Absolutely mesmerizing play from him, and he clutches it out for TRN8 Valiants, and TRN8 Valiants win round number 6, make it 2-4, and now side switch has happened. Let's look at the scorecard. Of course, this doesn't represent how the teams are playing. Scorecard is mainly a table full of numbers. It obviously doesn't represent how the teams are playing, like I just mentioned.
bombs from being defused by attackers.
Now, the defense of TRN8 Valiants, they have chosen to go on CCTV first. They have Sakib playing Pulse. So I think we'll be seeing a little bit of a roam coming from his side. Not sure if anyone else will aid him in his roam. Yesterday we saw, I believe it was Seven Sky going for the roam, and they went for a very interesting roam on CCTV. You know, they had Valkyrie and Vigil roaming, and they had complete control of first floor. It was completely uncontested by the attackers. So that was a very interesting strategy that Seven Sky Esports had gone for. Sakib playing the Pulse, I think he will try to go in a way, in a nutshell, you know, a little bit of a roam, not a very deep roam with barricades and lot of utility on him. The only utility that he will have is his cardiac sensor and of course the C4. Right now, having a look at the attackers over here, the attacking lineup is, well, it's mainly the same. It's the same lineup that TRN8 Valiants were going for. Thatcher Thermite Hibana combo, followed by Zofia and Sledge. No changes to that. And whether the method of attacking the objective is the same or not, that is something that's going to be answered in a few moments. And Sledge is playing a very, very deep roam. I wouldn't even call it a roam. I'd call it a lurk from him, you know, putting it in CSGO terminology, because he is completely very offside and he's just trying to pick off any attackers, very, very unsuspecting attackers, because of course you suspect roamers playing right below the objective, especially when it's a very vertical play heavy objective. Like CCTV, Bandit has been stunned by the Zofia grenade, won't be able to go for the main breach, as the main breach is now popped open by Thermite. Nice teamwork on the side of Reckoning Esports. Blank holding this bullet hole angle in logistics office all the way towards construction, not spotting anyone for now, though we still have Legion playing over there. No one has died for now. Rats and Blank still over here in logistics office, so roughly the same attack coming from their side as was happening with the side of TRN8 Valiants. Thatcher's also jumped in over here. They're looking for any roam, and speaking of roam, we still have Sledge has spotted, we have Pulse, and Pulse has spotted Sledge on the top of main stairs. He'll be going for the kill in in just a second. No Nomad, and I don't think there is any Claymore. Blank lands up the first kill onto Majima. That means Legion is now unfortunately dead, and Pulse is still okay. He's still watching for Sledge. Sledge Pulse has been droned out, and only now is it was, in as a matter of fact, it was Zofia, not Sledge. But Zofia will be much more careful. She doesn't have a Claymore left, as she used that on the entrance of garage. Sledge once again looking out for her. He has been droned once again, so a little bit of a duo happening between both these operators. But now we'll move on to the main site as Aniket racks up a kill onto Kingslayer. Smoke canister goes down on the entrance of construction, and Smoke is trying to hold his best near CCTV. He picks up the first kill. No, it is Blank, as a matter of fact, who picks up the kill onto Archangel. Smoke gets a kill onto Blank, so that means Sledge is now dead. Smoke caught from behind, unfortunately dies. It's all down to the lurker. It's all down to Sakib with his 1 C4 and his cardiac sensor. Very hard for him to clutch this round out. He's looking out for any operators. He spots Hibana, throws his C4, not getting any kill. Planter has already gone down. Thermite will land shots on him, and Reckoning Esports win round number 7 and make it 5-2. Now, CCTV and cache being held from the side of TRN8 Valiants, choosing to change of strategy basically. Vamai Yeager combo once again being run, and we are still seeing Pulse being played by Sakib. So it is an interesting strategy, you know. He is going for the lurk, but now I think the attackers will be much more wary, because before this, in the previous round, he had the element of surprise for him. No one expected him. Of course, Zofia had droned him out, but that was very late into the round, in the latter stages of the round. Now I think, especially once he will be droned out, because there is no mute, so it will be easy droning for the attackers. Once he has been droned out, I think they will know about him. and they will choose to, and they will be much more wary. And as a matter of fact, it is cash once again, it is not gym. So no changes to the strategy of both teams. This time we do see Vamai being played by Archangel, and yeah, that's the only change that we are seeing at the moment. And Vamai will be holding the same top east stairs angle. The top east stairs hold, as a matter of fact, that's the Vamai's area. It doesn't matter which side it is playing Vamai, which team is playing Vamai, but that is Vamai's area. And this time Sakib is now holding Jacuzzi, and over here the only problem is over here he's going to be droned out very easily. Even if the attackers focus, what he might be thinking is say most specifically Blank opens the Jacuzzi wall and then goes on his drone, and he's able to rack up kills. That's the terminology, that's the thinking I think at the moment behind Sakib and how he's positioning himself. But I hardly think that'll be the case. He has been droned out. He'll now move on to main stairs, and Hibana is coming in from gym trying to clear Sledge, and not to mention Blank is also dropped from logistics. Sledge will be caught in a bad position as he is unfortunately being killed by rats. So without wasting any time, Reckoning Esports land up the first kill. Construction wall is also now open as a Goo mine will be shot by Sledge in just a second, and Sledge will now be holding his same bullet hole angle onto cash room. We do have Majima playing the Legion right behind the table, along with Archangel playing in top east, and finally we have Dibjol as well playing by the entrance, connecting cash to CCTV. He's watching the main breach over here. Kingsley, the final defender that we didn't talk about, playing in rafters, safe and sound on his scams, watching for any attackers, doesn't spot any at the moment. As we have gone by the half round mark. Vortex is still watching the same angle onto main stairs, though there won't be any room now. The attackers will be aware of that, and Thatcher will be going for his EMP grenade on the main. Sort of an impactor coming in from Legion. Didn't prove that successful, as now his HP is depleted to roughly 60. The main breach in construction has happened. The attackers are slowly but surely taking control, and Shirisha is still watching the main breach. Mamai peeks out very wide. Alright, that was very interesting. I don't think that, not interesting, that was, well, that was foolish, nothing more. Vamai, I'm not sure why he peeked that wide. Legion will also go down as Blank will land up the kill on him. 1v5. Shirisha gets a kill onto Kingslayer. Dibjul is the only one surviving. The smoke, the only one, downs Thermite and eventually kills him. Now in top east, we will have Sledge peeking that angle, and Thatcher will be tagged heavily. Sledge dies. Thatcher also gets in a down but not out position, but it is Vortex who gets the final kill, and Reckoning Esports win round number 8, make it 6-2 for their team. And now they gain match point. They just need to win one more round. Meanwhile, TRN8 Valiants, they need to win 6 rounds in a row in order to have, 4 rounds in a row in order to have a chance of winning the match. Because once again, no draws, it will go to overtime, and right now it is it is heavily in favor of Reckoning Esports. This time, a definite change of strategy, as Alibi and Vigil in the previous defense of Reckoning Esports, I was mentioning how roam plays an important factor, and now Alibi and Vigil has been chosen. So 2 roamers, Castle is also being played, and Mute Legion. So this is going to be a very interesting setup from TRN8 Valiants, and from side of Reckoning Esports, of course, we still have the same lineup, no changes to that. And now I really want to see the setup, because a roam on basement that invokes the SSG, the infamous SSG strat. Of course, this isn't reproducing that strat, as we don't have Mozzie being played. Of course, we still have Archangel playing Mute, and okay, Archangel moving to second floor. So I think to an extent we will see that happening. I believe it is going to be the SSG, so a variant of that. Of course, not necessarily the same strat, just a little interpretation, their own interpretation of the strat and how they want to play it. Smoke has breached off the main wall on CCTV. Meanwhile, Jacuzzi wall is also being reinforced by Mute. There is no smoke. It was Alibi who had reinforced that, and bathroom has been barricaded off. So we'll go over this setup for just a moment. We'll talk through all 3 of these floors. Mute now playing by the breach, making a lot of rotation holes. There's one in logistics, there's one now in bathroom also. The hatches are open to allow for easy rotations back onto first floor. Speaking of first floor, Dipjol is also playing in second floor. She's an alibi 3-speed operator. Moto hatch is unreinforced. Castle barricade on the billiards wall. Castle barricade on the wolf wall. And I think the final castle barricade is on the wall in construction. Thatcher barricade has been placed. Saqib lands the first shot on the Aniket. That means Thatcher is now unfortunately dead. Hatches are being opened rapidly as Kingslayer is holding site. Very laid back, very possessive setup all the way in church, and same goes for Majima. And on kitchen we're seeing a lot of gunfights taking place from both from above and below. Vortex is watching the crossfire in main kitchen lobby. Meanwhile, Rats is holding Freezer from the outside along with Sledge. So here the attacker's definitely careful. Thermite makes his way into sight and gets the first kill onto Legion. Now Castle will be peeking out why Thermite doesn't know about his location. He might just get fragged off by Castle. Castle is watching out for him. Hibana is also there. Castle looking out. This strat can fall back really successful. You can see that all the attackers coming in from door. They know they have found a crack in this almost perfect setup. Thatcher will unfortunately also go down, and I think this round will go towards Reckoning Esports. Shirisha gets a kill. Dipjol gets yet another kill. Dipjol lands three kills. On this, sorry for yelling over there, but Dipjol lands 3 kills. Shirisha the only one surviving now. This is alright. This round is amazing. This round has had more turns, more twists and turns than an Indian soap opera. You know, we're seeing so much happening. And Dipjol will be shot at. Dipjol will unfortunately die. Now it's all down to 1v1. The hopes of TRN8 Valiants, the hopes of this strategy working, well, I in my opinion, it failed already. But all the hopes rely on this man, Saqib. Saqib peeking out wide. 10 seconds left. It takes 7.5 seconds for Diffuser to go down. But it won't matter right now. Shrisha picks up an ace. And Reckoning Esports win round number 9. Make it 7-2 for the team. And qualify, not qualify. And make their way towards the second round of the winners bracket. Win this match in an absolute dominating fashion. 7-2 in their favor. Let's look at the final scorecard. You can look at it for as long as you want, but that doesn't change the fact that both teams played absolutely tremendously, especially Reckoning Esports. 7-2 is how they were. Is the margin by which they won that match, and absolutely dominating the match at all times. You know, whether it was the gym hold that they went for, or whether it was something else, they definitely dominated that match. You know, finding cracks, especially that basement setup. When I initially saw the setup and I saw how slow the attackers were taking it, I was like, this round might just go towards the defenders. I was hinting towards that in the initial stage as well, in the operator pick phase as well. But no, it is Reckoning. They found a crack. Thermite killed Legion, and eventually Reckoning managed to win that round. It came down to 1v1. Shrisha getting that ace for his team, dominating. That's a word I'm going to use. But before we part off for the day, we'll have a quick look at the winners bracket and how this match now affects. Let's look at the winners bracket now. Of course, this match was winners bracket 1.7. So now Reckoning Esports will be winning this after winning this match, will qualify towards winners bracket 2.5. They'll be pairing against Kira Esports. Oh, that's going to be yet another interesting match. Meanwhile, TRN8 Valiants unfortunately losing this match. They're now hanging by a thread in the losers bracket. Speaking of the losers bracket, now 1.7, that's going to be losers bracket 2.8. So TRN8 Valiants will now go up against the side, or go up against the loser of Quantum G1 versus Hoffen Esports. That's also another match I can't wait to see and how that ends. So it's going to be interesting. You know, of course, with this match we only have tomorrow now left. Tomorrow we're going to see 2 matches. That's going to be winners bracket 1.10, GTA versus Anisha, and winners bracket 1.11, Level 0 versus Decoy Dreams. And tomorrow will mark the end of the first round of the winners bracket, completely getting over. And tomorrow will also mark the start of the losers bracket. Of course, we are seeing a little bit of losers bracket happening. We didn't talk about it earlier, but yesterday we saw Never Diamonds versus Seven Sky once again on Clubhouse. Seven Sky did lose that match, so they were paired up against Monka S, and Monka S had forfeited from the tournament earlier. So what that means is Seven Sky already in the second stage of the losers bracket, a little bit of a boost for them. So is Hawks Vanquishers yesterday when they lost against RC Liquid. And another match in the losers bracket is going to be Exhilarating Gaming versus Virtual 5 Esports. Winner of them will also qualify for the second stage. But we're getting way ahead into the future, of course. Tomorrow we have two great matches lined up back to back. It's going to be one hell of a day tomorrow. Speaking of a hell of a day, today was hell of a day, ladies and gentlemen. This has been the CriticalX League, hosted by CriticalX, powered by Game.tv. I'm your host, therealCCV, and we'll be back tomorrow with even more action. Stay tuned.